And we are live here from Leo Pickney Field at historic Falcon Park here in Auburn, New York. As always, actually not as always, this time it's Kyle French taking over for Evan Carocchio here tonight. Here, Falcon Park. So great to meet everyone. Typically covering the games over in Newark and Geneva. Making my first stop in Auburn here. Did color commentary with Evan a couple weeks ago. Good matchup on our hands as the Doubledays at 8-4-1 take on the Newark Pilots. Newark coming to this one at 5-9, looking to keep their win streak going. Starting lineups for both teams are about ready to get into the action as it's Jack Stead, the second baseman, leading off for Newark. Grant Russo, the extra hitter tonight, number 8 for the Pilots. Sammy Bestry tonight's shortstop. Keegan McGraw in center field. Ferrara at first base. Dom Zena, the designated hitter. The right fielder is number 5, Mason Haar. At third base, number 3, Ray Toth. The left fielder, number 19, Bryce Knox. And the catcher, number 13, Antonio DiGregoli. Tonight's starting pitcher for Auburn is Andrew Catrone. So Jack Stead steps in to face Catrone. Stead batting .312 coming into this game. That pitch is swung on and missed. Counts it 0-1 to Stead now. So no balls, 1 strike. Pitch. That one's fouled off the nose of the bat from Stead. Counts it 0-2 now. No balls, 2 strikes to Jack Stead. The 0-2 from Catrone. That one almost hits Stead in the helmet there as he ducks underneath it. Count is at 1-2 now. 1 balls, 2 strikes to Jack Stead. The NJIT Highlander to face as he faces Andrew Catrone. That one swung on and popped up left side, trailing over as the third baseman called off by the left fielder and actually then caught by the shortstop. 3 Doubledays underneath that ball is that was corralled in there by Gavin Grapuso out in deep left field. We'll score that one at F6 on that one, and that'll bring up Grant Russo now, the St. John's Red Storm from St. John's. So Russo steps in after the F6 Stead. Russo batting .388 of the hot bats in this Pilots lineup as of late. That one swung on in a little dribbler to the second baseman. He flips it over to Dozy at first. Score that one a 4-3 ground out on 1 pitch for Russo. As that was Aiden Ford flipping it to Avery Dozy at first. 2 away now, and that'll bring up Sammy Bestry, the shortstop tonight for Newark. He's batting .300 coming into this game. Pitch to Bestry. That one comes in and hits Bestry. So 1 pitch and a hit by pitch for Bestry. He'll trot to first as the Pilots have their first base runner of the night. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Keegan McGraw, batting .366. McGraw also swinging a hot bat for the Pilots thus far this summer. Did not play in that 9-5 victory over the Jamestown Tarpskunks. First pitch misses up. They'll peel down to the field ump. No swing. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Here to Keegan McGraw. Plays at Lock Haven University. The pitch from Catrone. Big cut and a big miss from McGraw. The count's now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Keegan McGraw. Bestry with a little lead on first. He'll be held by Dozy. 1-1. Breaking ball drops in the dirt. Good stop from the catcher, Dalton Groves, tonight for Auburn. Ball's 1 strike. And not very often you see a tie here in the PGCBL, and even more so a 0-0 tie back just a few days ago. That one clips the outer half of the plate. The count is now at 2-2, evened up to Keegan McGraw. So Catrone battles back. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That game back here at Falcon Park on the 16th, so just 2 days ago. The next pitch to McGraw. Swung on a little dribbler right at Dozy. He'll scoop it and touch first himself. 3 unassisted from McGraw. 3 away. We'll go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Gavin Gropuso in the Doubledays leading things off here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, it's Kyle French filling in for Evan Carocchio, play-by-play here tonight. Gavin Gropuso will lead things off, batting .239 coming into this game. He's at short tonight, made that athletic play out there in left field. For the second out of the game, Gropuso steps in. The first pitch from Aiden Cardoza, swung on and a little dribbler right to the first baseman, Chris Farrar. He'll slide over and touch first. 3 unassisted, a 1 pitch out for Gropuso. There's 1 away, and that'll bring up Aiden Ford. So Ford steps in now for Auburn. Ford batting .269 coming into this game. He's playing second base tonight for your Doubledays. So Ford steps in. First pitch from Cardoza. Swung on and missed. Count is at 0-1 now. Aiden Cardoza has been the Pilots' ace thus far this summer. Sports a .253 ERA coming into the game tonight as the second pitch to Ford misses outside. The count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Has gone no less than 7 innings in all 3 of his starts this summer as the next pitch misses inside. The count's at 2-1. On the home opener, 9-2 loss against the Jamestown Tarpskunks, he went 7 1/3, gave up 5 runs, 4 hits. That one a little dribbler to the shortstop Bestry. He'll field it and throw over to Farrar at first. A 6-3 ground out for Aiden Ford, and there's quickly 2 away for the Doubledays. That will now bring up Fernando Espinal for the Doubledays, and a breath of fresh air for them getting Fernando back. Has been sidelined due to injury. Making his return to the Doubledays lineup, and a big bat at that, batting .625 coming into this game for the Doubledays. 5 games played. First pitch from Cardoza taken for a strike. The count is now at 0-1 to Espinal, as he last played against these very Pilots back on June 10th, so he's been sidelined for the last week. Next pitch misses inside. The count is at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Espinal, and Espinal thus far in the summer, he's 10 for 16, 11 runs scored, home run, a triple, 3 doubles as that one's popped up into shallow right field. As the right fielder Mason Haar calls off the second baseman Jack Stead for the out, an F9 to end the inning. So both teams go down quickly. We head to the top of the second. It'll be Chris Ferrara leading things off for the Pilots here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, top of the second, 0-0 your score. Chris Ferrara leads things off for the Pilots, batting .285 for them since making his debut 2 weeks ago. First pitch misses just high, counts at 1-0 to Ferrara. Ferrara from Coral Springs, Florida, plays his college baseball. Just finished up at Emerson College, the D3 there in downtown Massachusetts. That one swung on and popped up into center field. Coming in as the center fielder, Bradley Soto Diaz, and making the play. So two-pitch fly out to center for Ferrara. That'll now bring up Dom Zena, the designated hitter for the Pilots, batting .241 and earned player of the game props for the Pilots the other night in the victory over the Jamestown Tarpskunks. In that game, Zena went 2 for 4 with 3 RBI, a walk, and 2 runs scored. First pitch misses for a ball to Zena, counts at 1-0. Zena plays his college baseball at Centenary University. He's a member of the Cyclones program. That one taken for a strike. Looked like a changeup on the inner half of the plate. That counts at 1-1. So far, solid night for Andrew Catrone. He's only thrown 14 pitches thus far. It's gone an inning and a third. That one fanned at and hit to Gropuso at short. He'll field and throw over to Dozy at first. A 6-3 ground out for Zena. And another 2 quick outs for the Pilots. That'll bring up the right fielder from Victor, New York, number 5, Mason Haar. So 2 quick outs for the Pilots and 2 quick outs for Andrew Catrone, as that'll bring up Mason Haar now. Haar batting .315 coming into the game for the Pilots. Off in the Pilots' last game against the Jamestown Tarpskunks. Off day for them yesterday. That pitch misses high. The count is at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Mason Haar. He will step in. That one. Slider drops in there on the outer edge of the plate. Counts now evened up at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Catrone comes set the pitch. Another slider in there on the outer edge of the plate. Same spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Mason Haar. Right fielder for the Pilots. The next pitch, that one misses low in the dirt. Like a little bit of a splitter. Good stop from the catcher, Dalton Groves. Catrone coming to this one with a 4.82 ERA. He's 2-0 on the summer thus far in both of his starts. 8 strikeouts. The next pitch to Haar. That one swung on a hit into right field. That will drop in front of Skylar Mays out there as he scoops it. Haar's going to round first and head into second to throw in. Not in time. It's a 2-out double for Mason Haar as he slides in safely at second. He overslid the bag but scurried his hands back on the bag to be safe. That'll bring up Ray Toth for the Pilots now with a runner on second. So first runner in scoring position of the game for either team, and actually the first hit of the ball game off the bat of Mason Haar, a double as he sits on second. Ray Toth steps in. First pitch from Catrone, taken for a strike to Toth. Counts at 0-1. Toth playing his college baseball at Wheaton College as well as tonight's starting pitcher for the Pilots, Aiden Cardoza. 4 balls, 1 strike. Catrone comes set. The 0-1 pitch to the Granby Mass native. That one lined into center field. That gets in front of Soto Diaz. They're going to send Haar from third. A throw into the plate from Soto Diaz. In time. What a throw from Bradley Soto Diaz out there in center field. He gets Mason Haar out at the plate, scored that one. A single with an 8-2 putout. The Pilots strand 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Doubledays up to bat. It'll be Zach Bale leading things off here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. What a play. Bradley Soto Diaz in center. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, bottom of the second inning. Kyle French here doing play-by-play, filling in for Evan Carocchio tonight. If you're just tuning in, Zach Bale leads things off for the Doubledays here to face Aiden Cardoza. First pitch looked like a breaking ball that catches the upper half of the zone. The count's at 0-1 to Zach Bale. Again, we're here in the bottom of the second inning. That one swung on and hit past the diving glove of the Pilot shortstop Bestry, and Zach Bale delivers for the Doubledays' first hit of the game. He sits on first base now, and that'll bring up the left fielder Ryan Grundy. First at bat of the night for Grundy, batting in the 5 spot for Auburn here tonight. He's batting 200 coming into this game, so lefty on lefty matchup here. Bale on first. First pitch of the at bat to Grundy from Cardoza catches the outer half of the plate. Down is at 0-1. One of the most notable things for Cardoza thus far this summer has been his excellent approach coming in. He throws a lot of strikes as Grundy smokes that one into right field but got underneath it. Mason Haar running over and making the grab just before the foul territory line. He makes the grab, an F9 for Grundy on 2 pitches he's put away. That'll bring up Bradley Soto Diaz, the center fielder tonight for the Doubledays. Soto Diaz made that great play in the top of the second inning to throw out Mason Haar at home from shallow center field, an 8-2 putout to end the inning. Haar kind of had a mixed signal from the head coach Daniel Steve, who's also the third base coach tonight for Newark, as that one's fouled off sharply by Bradley Soto Diaz. So Soto Diaz steps in, still looking for his first hit of the summer as a member of the Doubledays. Cardoza coming set, the pitch. That one swung on and popped up right side down the first base line, and that one looks like it kicked over into the Pilots' bullpen. Counts now quickly 0-2 to Soto Diaz. So Soto Diaz steps back in. Cardoza, the lefty, comes set. Bale over on first, held by Ferrara. The pitch bounced in the dirt. Good stop from Antonio DiGregoli, starting catcher for the Pilots here tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cardoza coming set. The 1-2, he actually is going to check over on Bale at first. Dives back in safely. Yeah, Cardozo's really been a go-getter for the Pilots here so far in 21 and a third inning as Soto Diaz lines that one into second. That one's going to get down for his first hit of the summer with the Doubledays. Back-to-back singles. Actually, second single of the inning, not back-to-back, but two singles this inning for Auburn. There's now runners on first and second for the catcher, number 30, Dalton Groves. Groves batting 200 coming to this one, and for the first time tonight, the Doubledays have a man in scoring position. As I was saying, 21 and a third inning of work coming into this one for Cardozo. Only 4 walks. Definitely a recipe for success if you can throw strikes in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. That one taken for a strike to Dalton Groves. First pitch. He falls behind in the count. Does Groves 0-1. Cardozo comes set yet again, the lefty. That one just misses inside as Groves kind of leans out of the way of that one. The count's now evened up at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Groves steps in, the catcher. Bale on first, and Soto Diaz on first. That one swung on and past the diving glove of Ray Toth. They're going to send Bale home. The throw in from the left fielder is cut off by the pitcher and thrown out into the outfield. Now another throw from Knox home. That one's going to be in time. So it's an RBI single for Dalton Groves. 1 run scores, and then it appeared Ryan Grundy was out at the plate. So second out of the inning, but the Doubledays do pick up a run. So an RBI single for Dalton Groves. He stands on second now. Zach Bale comes in to score. That'll bring up Trevor Murray. Soto Diaz thrown out at the plate. We'll score that one a 7-2 put out. The Soto Diaz, there's 2 away, but Auburn, more importantly, takes a 1-0 lead in this one. For Trevor Murray, the third baseman tonight for Auburn. So Murray steps in. You score 1-0 Doubledays. First pitch popped up into center field. Trailing back is Keegan McGraw, tonight's center fielder for the Pilots, for the out. But the Doubledays strike first. They score 1 run on 3 hits in the bottom of the second. They strand 1. Top of the third coming your way. It'll be Bryce Knox leading things off for the Pilots here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel on the pitching change for the Doubledays, it's Owen Burchard, the Auburn, New York native, faces Bryce Knox. First pitch swinging. That one's driven out into deep left field, and trailing on his horse is the left fielder, Ryan Grundy, to make the play. One pitch fly out to left off the bat of Knox. That'll bring up the 10-hole hitter for the Pilots, Antonio DiGregoli, the Brooklyn, New York native. Has in between innings there. Not sure if you... Well, there was a little bit of a delay. It looked like Catrone may have got hurt. The athletic trainer came out, and he exited the game as Owen Burchard comes in on relief for Andrew Catrone. First pitch to Antonio DiGregoli is taken for a strike. The count is at 0-1. Final stat line for Catrone: 2 innings of work, 2 hits given up, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, and 22 total pitches. As that one's hit on a line and thrown over to first. Score that one 5-3. Trevor Murray throws it over to Avery Dozie, a 5-3 ground out. And back to the top of the order for the Pilots here in the top of the third inning with 2 outs quickly. So Jack Stead steps up, the NJIT Highlander. Face Owen Burchard for the first time here tonight. Stead flew out to Gropuso in left field near the foul line as that one misses inside. The count's at 1-0. And his first at bat did Jack Stead. He's batting .312 coming into tonight. Made his Pilot's debut just about a week and a half ago. Been solid in the field as well. The pitch to Stead misses as well. So 2 pitches and 2 balls to Jack Stead. Grant Russo awaits on deck for Newark. So Stead steps back in. Pitch. Swung on and missed, and it looked like his elbow guard came off there. It's a 2-1 to Stead. 2 balls, 1 strike, top of the third. The pitch. That one misses up and away. The count's at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stead steps back in. New pitcher Owen Burchard. Now righty. I'm set for the Doubledays. The 3-1. That one swung on a miss from Stead. The count's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Burchard comes set yet again. Payoff pitch to Stead. That one swung on off the end of the bat, foul territory. Avery Dozie will watch that one kick off into foul territory, so we'll do the 3-2 again. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Stead. As Burchard coming into this one, sporting a 4.15 ERA, no official decision on the summer yet. Gone 8 2/3 coming in tonight as that one breaking ball misses outside. So a 2-out walk for Stead. He'll head to first as that will now bring up the extra hitter number 8, Grant Russo. Russo grounded out 4-3 in his first at bat in the first inning. That one against Andrew Catrone. He'll face Owen Burchard for the first time here tonight. So Stead over on first. Burchard comes set. First pitch of the at-bat to Russo as he squares the bunt. A well-placed bunt between third and the pitcher. It's going to be an infield bunt at that. Grant Russo with blazing speed out of the left-handed batter's box beats it out. Outs have back-to-back base runners for the shortstop, Sammy Bestry. So Bestry steps in, the Chicago, Illinois native, to face Owen Burchard. Plays his college baseball about an hour away at the University of Rochester. He's a member of the Yellow Jackets program. First pitch to Bestry. Swung on, and that one lined into left center field. Soto Diaz trails over and makes the play. So the Pilots strand 2 base runners. We head to the bottom of the third. Your score 1-0 here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, we're through 2.5 innings as Avery Dozy leads things off for the Doubledays. The 9th batter in this Doubledays lineup faced Cardoza for the first time. Count it 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Dozy. Dozy batting 0-66 coming into this game here tonight for Auburn. Next pitch misses in, counts at 1-1. Dozy not in the lineup the other day in that 0-0 10-inning tie here at Falcon Park. Next pitch slider misses low and away. It counts at 2-1 now to Dozy. Next pitch just misses below the knees. It counts at 3-1. That one looked like the changeup from Cardoza. Dozy 2 for 30 on the summer, 3 runs scored and 2 RBI. That one lined foul towards the Pilots' dugout over there, first base line. So it's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Avery Dozy. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Cardoza picks up his first strikeout of the night. As going down on strikes is Avery Dozy. That'll bring up the last batter in the lineup for Auburn, Skylar Mays. Mays tonight's right fielder for Auburn. He's batting 187 coming into this one. That one swung on and popped up right side of the infield. Sammy Bestry, the shortstop, doesn't have to move much. A P6 and 2 quick outs for Cardoza here in the bottom half of the third. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Gavin Gropuso, the shortstop for Auburn. 0 for 1, he grounded out 3 unassisted to lead the things off in the first inning for Auburn. Pitch. That one taken for a strike. Looked like a changeup there from Cardoza. Counts at 0-1 to Gavin Gropuso. The 0-1 delivery to Gropuso. Another, looked like a changeup slider. Cardoza does have a lot of off-speed pitches that he works with. The count's now 0-2 to Gropuso. Doubledays picked up the first and only run of the ball game thus far back in bottom half of the second inning, just an inning ago. An RBI single from Dalton Groves. That one swung on and popped up. Bestry turns and looks. That one's going to drop just in front of Bryce Knox and left. It's a 2-out single for Gavin Gropuso, the 4th hit of the day for Auburn. He sits on first, and that brings up Aiden Ford, the second baseman tonight for the Doubledays. Ford grounded out 6-3 in his first at-bat in the first inning, so Ford steps up. Big lead over there on first from Gropuso. Pickoff attempt from the lefty Cardoza as Gropuso dives back in safely. Ford from Massapequa Park, New York, as Cardoza throws over to at Gropuso again. First pitch misses inside to the second baseman, Ford. 1 ball, no strikes now to Ford. The lefty Cardoza comes set. Pickoff attempt thrown over to Ferrara. The throw down. Not in time. A stolen base for Gavin Gropuso. Good pickoff move attempt from Cardoza there, but not enough juice on it as Gropuso got a good jump and just beat the throw from Ferrara to Bestry at second. So a stolen base for Gropuso. He's now on second. That'll bring up Aiden Ford still. And the count's at 1-0 to him. First pitch. Second pitch, excuse me, misses for a ball. So the count's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Aiden Ford. Ford batting .269 coming into this game. Pitch. That one misses low as well. The count's now 3-0 to Aiden Ford. And a dangerous bat awaits on deck for Auburn. Fernando Espinal in the on-deck circle. So if you're Cardoza, this is a must-get out for him, the 3-0. That one comes in and hits the batter Ford. Raposo was heading towards third. So now back-to-back base runners for the Doubledays with 2 away. Fernando Espinal steps in now. With that .625 batting average coming into tonight. He flew out to right back in the first inning. So Cardoza comes set. First pitch to Espinal. Changeup drops in there for a strike. The count's at 0-1. That was the 35th pitch of the night thus far for Cardoza. No balls, 1 strike. Raposo with the lead on second. The 0-1. Swung on and hit back up the middle. Diving is the second baseman. Steady can't make the play. And Raposo dives in. And the throw from the center fielder McGraw into Bestry as they have Aiden Ford out as he rounded second. Took a wide turn, but an RBI single for Espinal before the Doubledays pick up another run. It's 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, Keegan McGraw leading things off for the Pilots here. He grounded out 3 unassisted in his first at-bat. In the first inning, he'll face Owen Burchard. First time here tonight. Burchard took over last inning for Andrew Catrone, who appeared to suffer an injury during warm-up pitches back in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike to McGraw. Counts at 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses high as McGraw dunks out of the way. The count's at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 0 your score. Doubledays lead. The pitch. That one swung on and fouled off out of play. The count's at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Keegan McGraw. So McGraw steps in. 1-2 pitch from Burchard. Swung on a liner back to him. He fields it between his legs and underhand flips over to Dozy at first. Great play by Owen Burchard. A 1-3 ground out to lead things off in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Chris Ferrara for the Pilots. Ferrara flew out to center field. Soto Diaz out there in his first at-bat to lead off the 2nd inning. So Ferrara steps in, the cleanup hitter tonight for Newark. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. 5th batter in the lineup for the Pilots. The 0-1. That one misses outside. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Emerson College Lion. So Burchard delivers. That one's fouled off. So 1-2 the count, and back-to-back at-bats for Burchard. Tom Zeno waits on deck for the Pilots. 7:48 your time. We're through 3 full innings in just about 40 minutes. The pitch to Ferrara. That one misses outside. Now leave it up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chris Ferrara. Two balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 delivery from Burchard. Swung on a little dribbler off the end of the bat. The third baseman fields it and throws over to Dozy. That was Murray over there at third. A 5-3 ground out for Ferrara, and 2 quick outs yet again for the Pilots. That'll now bring up Dom Zena. Zena 0 for 1 thus far here tonight. He grounded out 6-3 back in the second inning. Gropuso to Dozy. So Zena steps in 0 for 1. First pitch of the at-bat from Burchard. That one's a little liner up the middle. It's a 2-out single for the Pilots. Zena now sits on first, and that brings up Mason Haar for the Pilots. Haar doubled in his first at-bat and was thrown out at home back in the second inning. Pilots were looking to strike first, and a great throw from Bradley Soto Diaz out there in center. He threw it to Dalton Groves, and it gunned out Haar at the plate to end the second inning. So Mason Haar steps in now. Burchard will hold Zena close at first. Pitch. Slider clips the corner of the plate. The count's at 0-1. Called strike there. The count's at 0-1 now. No balls, 1 strike. 2-0 your score. Top of the 4th. 2 away. Pitch. Runner goes. That one fouled off. The count's at 0-2 now. 2 away here at Falcon Park. Sun's still up, but probably not for much longer. A little bit of daylight left on here on this hot June evening. So Burchard comes set. Zena over on first. The 0-2 pitch to Haar. That one to Haar. A slider on the outer edge of the plate. Good pitch from Burchard. Backwards K for Haar, the 3rd out of the inning. As when we come back, 2-0 your score, bottom of the 4th. As we will be right back. Zach Bale leads things off for the Doubledays here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, bottom of the 4th inning. Zach Bale leads things off for Auburn. He singled and scored in his first at-bat, and this one back in the second inning. So Bale will step in. 2-0 Doubledays lead, looking to add to that here. Cardoza out for another inning of work for the Pilots. First pitch to Bale. Breaking ball drops in for a strike, counts it 0-1. That one, the 37th pitch of the night for Cardoza here. So far, 3 innings of work, 5 hits, 2 runs, and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch to Bale. That one misses low. The count's at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Zach Bale, who has been the cleanup hitter in this Doubledays lineup for what it seems like the entire summer. Another breaking ball clips the outer half of the plate. Counts at 1-2. Good pitch from Cardoza to get himself ahead in the count 1-2. That one a 67-mile-per-hour breaker. And Bale did not like the call as you saw him hang his head in frustration. The 1-2 pitch. That one swung on and missed. Strike 3. Cardoza's second strikeout of the game and the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. So a strikeout swinging for Bale, and that brings up the left fielder, Ryan Grundy. Grundy 0 for 1 thus far here tonight as he's the Doubledays left fielder. He flew out to Mason Harn right back in the second inning. So first pitch from Cardoza to Grundy misses high. The count's at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. So Grundy steps back in. Next pitch, called a strike. Evened up at 1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Grundy, tonight's left fielder. Pitch. That one. Change up on the outer edge of the plate. Counts now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Grundy. That one fanned at back-to-back strikeouts as DiGregoly tags him out at first. Score that one a strikeout and put out by DiGregoly catching. There's 2 away now. That'll bring up Bradley Soto Diaz, tonight's center fielder for Auburn. He singled and got his technical first hit of the summer. He did have a hit yesterday against the Syracuse Saltcats, but due to it being an exhibition, does not count as a hit in the stat book. Pitch from Cardoza to Soto Diaz. This one a little dribbler. Bestry fields it, sliding to his left, throws over to first. It's going to be an infield single for Soto Diaz. He's going to advance to second on the E6. So a base hit for Soto Diaz, and the throwaway got out of play from Bestry, who that would have been a great play had he been able to make the throw. So Soto Diaz singles and advances on an E6. Our first error of the game for the Pilots, as the Doubledays now have a runner in scoring position with 2 away, and that'll bring up Dalton Groves. Had that RBI single to break the 0-0 game back in the second inning for Auburn. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1 to Groves. No balls, 1 strike. So far for Auburn, 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. And for the Pilots, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The lefty Cardoza comes set, the 0-1. That one lined into center field. That one's going to get down. Soto Diaz is going to round and head towards home. The throw in's not in time. 2 RBI singles tonight for Dalton Groves, and he now sits on first. Your score 3-0 in favor of the Doubledays. So Dalton Groves delivers yet again for Auburn. Your score 3-0. As that'll bring up Trevor Murray now. So Murray steps in. He flew out to McGraw back in the second inning. So 3-0 the score. Bottom of the 4th. 2 away. Quick mound meeting there as DiGregoly just trying to settle down Cardoza. 47 pitches thus far here tonight for Cardoza. The pitch swung on and fouled off out of play. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. That one misses low and inside. Good stop from DiGregoly. It's moved up at 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Trevor Murray steps back in. So pickoff attempt as Ferrara catches it and falls to his back. Counts at 1-1. Groves in there safely. Pitch from Cardoza. That one swung on and popped up deep center field. McGraw trails back to his right, and he makes the grab to end the inning. A pair of F8s for Murray's 0 for 2 on the night. That ends the inning, but the Doubledays pick up a single run For the third consecutive inning, your score 3-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. It'll be Ray Toth leading things off for the Pilots here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, your score 3-0 in favor of the Auburn Doubledays as Ray Toth, the third baseman for Newark, leads things off. Toth singled back in the second inning and was left on base. He'll face Owen Burchard for the first time here tonight. That pitch, this is low. The count's at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Ray Toth. Both from Wheaton College, D3 powerhouse, and the Newmac in Western Massachusetts. That one swung on and missed from Toth. The count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce Knox awaits on deck. He had a deep fly out left center field. First at bat. That one off the end of the bat in fair territory. I think Dozy thought it was foul, but he fielded it anyways, and then looked at the base umpire. He pointed fair, and he just touched first. So 3 unassisted for Dozy. Toth put away for the first time here tonight. And that brings up Bryce Knox now for the Pilots. So Knox steps in. He actually had a deep fly out to Ryan Grundy in left field in his first at bat. First pitch to Knox. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. The count is at 0-1 to Knox. No balls, 1 strike. Burchard, the Auburn native, comes set and the pitch. That one swung on and popped up and popped foul. 2 pitches, 2 strikes to Bryce Knox as he falls down in an 0-2 hole against Burchard. The 0-2 pitch from Burchard. This is high, looked like a fastball, counts at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryce Knox. Pitch. That one lined sharply just past Daniel Steve, the Pilots head coach, in the third base box there. That one's foul. So we'll do the 1-2 yet again. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Knox. The top of the 5th. Knox steps back in. The 1-2. That one misses just outside. Looked like another fastball. That one at 87 miles an hour. Counts at 2-2. One of the things I love about being here at Falcon Park is they have the live velo tracker right behind home plate, so you can see how fast pitches are. The 2-2 pitch, this one fouled off sharply right off the railing of the Doubledays dugout over there. Counts now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bryce Knox steps back in. 2-2. That one, slider, looked like missed outside. It's now push full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Bryce Knox. Knox will step back in. Was down 0-2 in the count. He's now worked it full. The payoff pitch from Burchard. Fastball misses up. So after being down the count 0-2, Knox fights all the way back and works a walk. He'll head to first. That'll bring up the catcher for the Pilots, number 13, Antonio DiGregoli. DiGregoli plays Division I baseball at Hofstra in the CAA. He's batting .208 coming into this one. Was struggling for the earlier part of the summer and has turned the corner at the right time. He's been hitting the bat well as of late. So DiGregoli steps back in. The first pitch to him, that one swung on and popped up and popped foul. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to DiGregoli. Pilots have stranded 5 runners on base thus far through 4 full innings. So DiGregoli steps back in. No balls, 1 strike. Knox with a slight lead over first. He'll extend it. Pitch. Slider misses outside. A little bit of a Soto shuffle or something like that there from DiGregoli that counts at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike as DiGregoli steps back in. Knox on first. He's held by Dozy. Burchard coming set. The 1-1 pitch. That one swung on and roped down the left field line. That one's going to be fair. And rounding second and going to be rounding third is Bryce Knox with blazing speed. He's going to come on in home. It's an RBI double for Antonio DiGregoli. A little double celebration on second. The score is now 3-1. Knox with blazing speed scored all the way from first on that one as it was hit to the left field corner and thrown in by Grundy. That'll bring up the top of the order with Jack Stead now. So the first run of the game for the Pilots. It's now 1-3. Auburn leads by 2. Stead will step in now. He's 0 for 1. Walked in his last plate appearance in the third, and he flew out to the shortstop Gropuso in the first. Pitch. Curveball drops in there for a strike. It's at 0-1 now. No balls, 1 strike to Jack Stead. The Narberth, PA native. He's at NJIT. The 0-1 pitch from Burchard. That one misses low. Good stop from Groves. Count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burchard coming set. 1-1 pitch. Stead pops that one foul over our heads here in the press box. The count is now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stead batting .312 coming into the game here tonight at Falcott. Burchard comes set yet again. DiGregoli on second. He's held closely. Fastball. High fastball at that. Swung on a miss by Stead. Strikeout swinging for him. And that brings up Grant Russo for the Pilots now. Russo batting .388. He singled in his last at-bat in the third and was left on base. So he has another RBI opportunity here for the Pilots if he can drive in DiGregoli on second. Base hit would likely score him with the outfielders playing a little bit deeper. Pitch. Misses up and in. Counts at 0-1 to Russo. No balls, 1 strike. Russo second on the Pilots in batting average at .389 coming into the game tonight. The pitch from Burchard. Breaking ball drops in over the heart of the plate for a strike. Counts at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Russo. Russo with 3 RBI to his credit thus far in 6 games played. He's 7 for 18 on the summer. St. John's, the D1 program. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, 85 miles an hour. It's at 1-2 now. Grant Russo, tonight's extra hitter for the Pilots. That one called a strike. We actually had the count backwards. It was 2-1. Now it is 1-2. My mistake. Appeared that the first pitch was a strike, but apparently not. That one called strike 3 on one that Russo ducked out of the way of. So a backwards K for Russo. They strand DiGregoli on second, but DiGregoli drives in Bryce Knox on an RBI double. Your score 3-1 now here from Falcon. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. 3-1 Doubledays lead here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, Kyle French filling in for Evan Carocchio here tonight. 3-1 your score. Doubledays have been hitting the ball exceptionally well here tonight. 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Pilots as well. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. Just left 6 runners on base thus far as that one's taken for a strike. To Avery Dozy. Avery Dozy, the leadoff batter for Auburn here. The bottom of the 5th inning. The 0-1 pitch from Cardoza. Just misses outside. It's at 1-1 now. So far for Cardoza, 4 innings of work, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts. He's thrown 52 pitches thus far here tonight. The next pitch to Dozy. This is outside. It's at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mentioned it before the game. Cardoza has gone 7 innings in all 3 of his prior starts to tonight. 2-1 record. The pitch from Cardoza. That one misses outside. It's at 3-1 now. 3 balls, 1 strike to Avery Dozy. Dozy struck out swinging in his first at bat here tonight in the 3rd inning. 3-1 pitch from Cardoza. That one misses inside. So a 5-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Avery Dozy. He'll head to first, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Skylar Mays. Mays 0 for 1. Popped up to the shortstop, Bestry, back in the 3rd inning. As DiGregoli comes out to chat with his pitcher, Aiden Cardoza. So Mays will step in for the Doubledays. Pickoff attempt is actually faked by DiGregoli as Dozy dives back in. Ferrara holding Dozy over there at first. Counts at 1-0 to Skylar Mays. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch from Cardoza as Mays squares the bunt and it kicks behind him. Fouled off. Counts at 1-1. Gropuso awaits on deck for the Doubledays. Puso 1 for 2 on the night. So Mays steps back in, squares the bunt yet again. That one pops straight up right to Cardoza, who makes the grab. While Mays was trying to get that one down, it ended up staying in the air just long enough for Cardoza to corral it. A P1, as that brings up Gavin Gropuso now. Gropuso, the shortstop tonight for the Doubledays. He's had a busy night defensively. He's also been swinging the bat well here tonight. He's 1 for 2. He singled and scored in his last at bat in the 3rd inning. So, 3rd at bat here tonight. Gropuso steps in. Cardoza, the lefty, comes set. Another lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch, changeup drops in there for a strike at 76 miles an hour. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. It's cooled down a little bit here at Falcon Park. The 0-1. Beautiful breaking pitch at 67 miles an hour from Cardoza. Drops in for a strike as well. Back-to-back called strikes to Gropuso. The lefty will step back in. Avery Dozy over on first for the Doubledays. That one swung on and popped up. Right side of the infield as Gropuso tosses the bat. Jack Stead underneath it makes the grab. A P4. And there's 2 away, and that'll bring up Aiden Ford for Auburn. So Ford steps in now with 2 away after the P4 from Gropuso. Gropuso knew it right away. He tossed the bat right towards the Doubledays dugout in frustration. 2 outs. Ford steps in. He was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. Dozy dives back in safely over there at first on the pickoff attempt from the lefty Cardoza. Ford was also thrown out to end the 3rd inning, 8-6. McGraw threw it into Bestry as he took a awkward turnaround second and was left out to dry on a back pick from the outfield. That one called a strike. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Ford steps back in. The 0-1 pitch from Cardoza. That one, a slider popped up. Chris Ferrara under this one in foul territory. 3 pop-ups for the Doubledays. They strand 1. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 3-1 your score from Falcon Park here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, top of the sixth inning, Sammy Bestry leading things off for the Pilots. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1. Owen Burchard has done exceptionally well for the Doubledays out of the pen in relief of Andrew Catrone. 3 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. As Bestry lines that one right to Trevor Murray at third. He fields it on 2, bounces and throws a dozy, a 5-3 ground out for Bestry to lead off. Top of the sixth, that'll bring up Keegan McGraw now for the Pilots. So McGraw steps in. He had that liner up the middle that was fielded between the legs, backhanded between the legs by Burchard, who made a great play in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch to McGraw, like a cutter of some sort, missed outside. The count's at 1-0. 83 miles an hour on that one from Burchard. Pitch from Burchard. Swung on, and that one lined right to Gropuso, who dives and throws over to first. It's not going to be in time. It's an infield single for Keegan McGraw. The Pilots' first hit of the inning, their 6th hit of the night. McGraw on first now. Great defensive play from Gropuso to dive and even get a glove on it. He extended all the way out to get that one. That'll bring up Chris Ferrara now for the Pilots. 0 for 2 thus far, 5-3 ground out in his last at-bat in the 4th. He flew out to Soto Diaz in center in the 2nd, first at-bat of the night. So Ferrara steps in. McGraw on first. The pitch bounced in the dirt. Another good stop from Groves, who's been very sound defensively. He's been a brick wall for the Doubledays behind the dish there. So come out and talk with Burchard. The count's at 1-0 to Ferrara now. Get the one away. So the mound meeting quickly over between Groves and Burchard. No one up and throwing, but people up and stretching over there in the Doubledays bullpen. Ferrara back in. Pitch, McGraw goes towards second. The throw down, not in time, as the throw from Groves was to the opposite side of the bag. Likely if it was to the right side of the bag, McGraw would have been out. It was a beautiful throw from Groves, just to the wrong side of the bag. Pitch missed as well for a ball. The count's at 2-0. So McGraw in scoring position now for the Pilots. 2-0 the count. Pitch to Ferrara. That one misses outside as well. So 3 straight balls to Chris Ferrara. Dom Zeno waiting on deck for the Pilots. 3-1 your score. Top of the 6th. The pitch. That one misses. Ferrara thought that was a strike, and it was a very close pitch at that. It's going to be a walk for Ferrara. Back-to-back base runners for the Pilots, and that'll bring up Dom Zena, who singled and was left on base in his last at-bat in the 4th. So Zena, the DH for the Pilots, will step in. First pitch of the at-bat from Burchard. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. That one at 73 miles an hour on the breaking ball from Burchard. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch. That one lined right up the middle and right at the second baseman Ford. He'll touch second as McGraw was heading towards third. Great play from Aiden Ford. It's a 4 unassisted double play. We head to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. 3-1 your score. Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel from Falcon Park. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, bottom of the sixth. Cardoza out for another inning of work. He faces Fernando Espinal, who pops that one up right side as Ferraro will watch that one kick out of play here at Falcon Park. Counts it 0-1. To Fernando Espinal, who's been through and through the Doubledays' best hitter this summer, and they get him back. It's a big boost to the lineup after being sidelined for 8 days due to an injury. Pitch from Cardoza. Breaking ball misses outside. The count's at 1-1 now. Espinal had that RBI single back in the third inning for the Doubledays run. The pitch from Cardoza, that one another slider, just misses a little bit low. The count's at 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. That RBI from Espinal, his 10th of the summer thus far. And not quite 3 full weeks. That one swung on and lined into center field. McGraw on his horse. He's trailing all the way. He'll turn, and that one gets over his head. It'll one hop to the wall. McGraw will field it. Espinal's going to round second and head to third, and he's going to slide in safely. Just as I say it, Espinal with a beautiful triple there. As he's shown time and time again, he's one of the most consistent hitters in all of the PGCBL. His second triple of the summer. His 6th extra base hit. A leadoff triple for Espinal. That'll bring up Zach Bale now. Bale also a hot bat in the Doubledays lineup. He singled and scored back in the second. 1 for 2 thus far here tonight. He struck out swinging in the fourth. That one misses low and inside. The count's at 1-0 now. At the 8th hit of the ball game, Cardoza has given up. Thrown 78 pitches thus far. 68 pitches. That one misses. For the 69th pitch, counts at 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Zach Bale. Cardoza comes set yet again, the 2-0. That one swung on and popped up. Shallow right field. Stead's going to make the play, and Espinal's going to retreat to third. Imagine if that one was any deeper, Espinal probably might have had the green light to go there with a bunch of speed. So a P4 for Bale. There's 1 away now in the bottom of the 6th, and then I'll bring up Ryan Grundy for the Doubledays. Grundy, the left fielder tonight, he's 0 for 2. Struck out swinging back in the 4th. Flew out to hard and right. First pitch swinging as he swings over the top of the breaking ball. Count is at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Grundy. He'll step back in. Cardoza comes set yet again. The pitch. Fastball misses outside. Counts at 79. That one at 79 miles an hour. The count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Grundy will step back in. Infield in. Trying to stop Espinal from scoring. That one fouled off by Grundy. The count's now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another lefty on lefty matchup here. So Grundy steps back in. Bradley Soto Diaz awaits on deck for the Doubledays. The pitch. Breaking ball lined sharply, but just foul down the first base line. So we'll do the 1-2 yet again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This will be the 75th pitch of the night for Cardoza. As the lefty comes set. Pitch number 75, a breaking ball. That one fouled sharply yet again. So we'll do the 1-2 for the 4th consecutive time. Grundy steps back in. Again, infield in on the left side. Vestry and Ray Toth, shortstop and third baseman tonight for the Pilots. The 1-2. That one misses up and in. He's turning away from it. Was Grundy. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardoza picks up the rosin bag quickly. He'll come set. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 2-2 delivery to Grundy. That one misses outside. Good frame job from DeGregoli as he made that pitch look a lot closer than what it was. Count's pushed full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Grundy steps back in. A 3-2 pitch on the way from Cardoza. That one misses inside, so he's down in the count 1-2. Grundy works it all the way back full, and he works a walk. So an 8-pitch walk for Ryan Grundy. He heads to first. Runners on the corners now for Auburn. That brings up Bradley Soto Diaz for the Doubledays. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a run scored thus far for Soto Diaz here tonight, who's been manning center field for the Doubledays. Double play ball in effect here for the Pilots. That one swung on and missed. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Across the board, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Doubledays, and 1 run on 6 hits, 1 error for the Pilots. Another breaking ball clips the outer half of the plate. Counts at 0-2. 2 straight strikes to Soto Diaz. That was pitch number 80 of the night for Cardoza. The 0-2. Another breaking ball swung on and missed. A 3-pitch strikeout. So a strikeout swinging for Soto Diaz. There's 2 away now, and that'll bring up Dalton Groves. Groves responsible for 2 of the 3 Doubledays runs. He's got a pair of RBI singles. He RBI singled in the 4th, and he also had an RBI with a single in the 2nd. So Groves steps in now with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. Cardoza coming set. Pickoff attempt has Grundy heading back into first safely. Farrar holding him over there, the Pilots' first baseman. First pitch of the at-bat from Cardoza drops in there for a strike. It's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. It's about an hour and a half into this one. We're in the bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs. Balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch from Cardoza. This is just outside. Another breaking ball that counts at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dalton Groves. Trevor Murray awaits on deck, the 3rd baseman for the Doubledays. 1 ball, 1 strike from Cardoza. That one misses outside. It's now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. No one up and warming yet in the Pilots' bullpen. Cardoza coming set yet again. Another pickoff attempt. It's Grundy. Treats safely. 2 balls, 1 strike. Espinal on 3rd, 90 feet away from the Doubledays' 4th run. Grundy will take another big lead over there at first. Pitch. Swung on and missed. It's now 2-2. So the count's evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 85 pitches on the ledger for Cardoza thus far here tonight. So Groves steps back in, trying to extend the Doubledays lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner goes. The pitch swung on and fouled off, so we'll do the 2-2 yet again. Grundy was on the move towards second from first. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dalton Groves will step back in. Cardoza, the lefty, coming set. Big lead for Grundy over there at first. 2-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cardoza. His 5th strikeout of the game on the 87th pitch. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Pilots up to bat. 3-1 your score. It'll be Mason Haar leading things off for the Pilots here when we return on Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, top of the 7th here at Falcon Park. An exciting one thus far. 3-1 your score. Mason Haar will lead things off for the Pilots in the top of the 7th. He'll face Burchard, the Auburn, New York native. First pitch to Haar. This is just inside. The count's at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Haar doubled in his first at-bat in the second. Struck out looking in his last at-bat in the fourth. Pitch to Haar. This is low. The count's at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Burchard so far 4 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's sitting at 59 total pitches, so this will be the 60th pitch of the night for Owen Burchard. The pitch swung on and lined right to Puso. He'll field it and throw over to Dozy at first. A 6-3 ground out for Haar. The first out of the inning. That'll bring up Ray Toth now for the Pilots. So 1 away, as that'll bring up Ray Toth. Toth singled in his first at-bat in the second, and then grounded out 3 unassisted in the 5th on that weird play where Dozy fielded it. Thought he was in foul territory, but the field umpire called it fair. That one in there for a strike from Burchard. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Toth will step back in. The Wheaton College Lion, the second pitch, is at 1-1. It's evened up now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Toth was batting .250 coming into this game. Bryce Knox awaiting on deck. The 1-1. That one misses outside. It's now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ray Toth. The 2-1 delivery bounced in the dirt. Counts now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. 14 total hits between the two teams here tonight. Only 4 runs to show for it. Both teams stranded runners on base. Auburn stranded 2 runners in the bottom half of the 6th inning, just a half inning ago. 3-1 fouled off sharply into the backstop from Toth. It's now 3-2, full count. Going 83 miles an hour out of the arm of Burchard. Counts full. Burchard coming set. The payoff pitch. That one misses low as they appeal down to first. No swing. So 1 out walk for Ray Toth. He trots to first, and that brings up Bryce Knox for the Pilots now. Knox 0 for 1 thus far here tonight. He walked and scored back in the 5th inning. So Knox steps in. The Central Alabama Community College program member. He will be transferring in the fall. He will be playing at a D2 in Georgia. Knox steps back in. Burchard stepped off. Toth over on first. The pitch. Slider drops in there nicely. The count's at 0-1. Great pitch from Burchard. No balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Top of the 7th. Knox steps back in. Antonio DiGregolia waiting on deck for the Pilots. The 0-1. That one swung on and popped up right side of the infield. Dozy in foul territory will field it for the 2nd out. An FP3 on that one for Dozy, as that brings up DiGregolia now with 2 away. DiGregolia had that RBI double his last at-bat in the 5th that gave the Pilots their first run of the ball game. As I said, he's been swinging a hot bat as of lately. We'll see if he can replicate that here. DiGregolia steps in. Toth over on first with 2 away. That one misses low and away. It's at 1-0 now to DiGregolia, the Brooklyn, New York native. 2 outs, 3-1 your score, top of the 7th. Burchard coming set. The 1-0 pitch to DiGregolia. Fastball just above the letters, right over the heart of the plate, but it's at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes. Jack Stead in the top of the order await patiently in the on-deck circle for the Pilots. Both with a little lead over there at first. He's held by Dozy. The pitch. That one misses low and away as well. So 3 straight balls to DeGregoli. Jack Stead awaiting on deck. Followed by Grant Russo in the hole. 3 balls, no strikes. Imagine the red light on for DeGregoli here. 3-0. That one right over the heart of the plate. Called a strike as DeGregoli starting to walk towards first. 3 balls, 1 strike now. As DeGregoli will step back in. 3-1 the count. Toth over on first. Burchard comes set yet again. The 3-1. Breaking ball misses up and away. So DeGregoli now can head towards first. It's a walk. There's runners on first and second now, and that'll bring up Jack Stead. Outcoming is the skipper, Dan Schwam, towards Burchard. So Schwam trotting out to Burchard. We'll see if there will be a pitching change. See Steve LaRose, the pitching coach, in the dugout tonight for Auburn. As it will be the end of the night for Burchard. There's going to be a pitching change. We'll get that when we come back on the Doubledays YouTube channel. Final stat line for Owen Burchard, 4 2/3 inning of work, 4 hits, a run given up, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts on 73 total pitches. Great work for Burchard coming in on short notice for the injured Andrew Catrone. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. 3-1 your score. Runners on first and second with 2 away. So back here on the Doubledays YouTube channel, Tyler Blake coming in to relieve Owen Burchard. First pitch called a strike to Jack Stead. Blake from Cortland, New York. He plays at SUNY Cortland, right there in his hometown. The 0-1 pitch to Stead. Swung on and missed. The count's at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one at 88 miles an hour, the fastball out of the hand of Blake. So Stead down in the count, 0-2. Ray Toth on second. As he heads towards third, that one comes and misses inside. Both runners steal on that one, so now runners on second and third for the Pilots. So second and third are the runners. DeGregoli on second, Toth on third. Single here would tie the game at 3 likely. The pitch to Stead. That one swung on in line right to Soto Diaz. It's going to line in front of him. Rounding is DeGregoli coming into the plate. The throw from Soto Diaz not in time. It's a 2 RBI single for Jack Stead. We're knotted up at 3 as the Pilots rally and tie this one in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Grant Russo for the Pilots. Jack Stead continues his hot summer for the Pilots. His first hit of the night, and an important hit at that. A 2 RBI single off the lefty Tyler Blake. So 3-3 your score. That one misses outside. The count is at 1-0 now. 1 ball, no strikes. Grant Russo at the plate now for the Pilots. He's 1 for 3 on the evening with a single back in the 3rd. That one misses outside as well. Back-to-back balls to Russo from Blake. Russo batting .388 coming into the game for the Pilots. And like I said, he's been a hot bat for the Pilots from St. John's, the D1 program. 2-0. That one catches the corner of the plate. The count's at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner goes as Stead running towards second. The throw down, not in time. Another great throw from Groves, but to the opposite side of the bag. Likely, if it's to the right of the bag, Stead is out by a mile, but a stolen base for him. He's now in scoring position for the Pilots. This one, a key game in terms of standings. Newark at 4-9 and in 6th place in the PGCBL Western Division. Auburn at 8-4. That one misses outside. It's now 3-1 to Russo. Auburn at 8-4-1 in 2nd place. The Pioneers creeping right behind them at 7-5. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Pioneers. The pitch misses outside. Russo works a 2-out walk. He'll head to first. There's now runners on first and second for Sammy Bestry, who's 0 for 2 on the night, but comes into this one with a .300 batting average. He's also been a hot bat for the Pilots this summer. All 3 of the first 3 batters in this Pilots lineup with a .300 batting average or higher coming into the game. Bestry lines that one back up the middle. Fielding it is the second baseman, Aiden Ford. He steps on second himself, but Jack Stead ties the game at 3 here on a 2 RBI single in the top of the 7th. 3-3 your score from Falcon Park, as we'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Bottom of the 7th. It's time to get up and stretch here as Kira takes us through Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Well, back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, bottom of the 7th. If you're just tuning in, it was 3-1 in the top of the 7th at the start. Jack Stead knotted this one up with a 2 RBI single in the top of the 7th that scored Di Grigoli and Ray Toth. First pitch swinging from Trevor Murray as he gets his first hit of the night. He's now 1 for 3 on 1 pitch from Cardoza. He heads to first. That'll bring up Avery Dozie, the first baseman for the Doubledays here tonight. So 3-3 your score. Been an exciting game thus far. So Trevor Murray over on first. Dozy steps back in. He walked back in his his last plate appearance in the 5th. This is inside. Counts at 1-0 to Avery Dozy. So Dozy will step back in to face Aiden Cardoza, the Pirates' ace. 6 innings of work, 9 hits, 3 runs for Cardoza. That one taken for a strike by Dozy. The count's at 1-1. That was pitch number 90 of the night for Cardoza. There is someone up and warming for the Pilots in the bullpen. Pickoff attempt as Trevor Murray is not going to be thrown out. It's going to be an E3 from Chris Ferrara on that one as he threw it away to Bestry. So second error of the night for the Pilots. Trevor Murray advances into scoring position now for the Doubledays. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. The pitch taken for a strike on the outer half of the plate. The count's now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Avery Dozy. And important for Cardoza to keep this thing knotted here. As the top of the order is looming. Rapuso in the hole. That one's fouled off. Looped. So it'll hit off the Doubledays clubhouse over there. Third base side and left field. So we'll do the 1-2 again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch number 93 of the night for Cardoza. That one a liner back up the middle. It's going to get through right to McGraw as Murray's going to stop at third. It's an RBI, not an RBI, a single for Dozy. And advancing 90 feet is Trevor Murray. So runners on the corner now, and that'll bring up Skylar Mays, tonight's right fielder for the Doubledays. And it looks like there's going to be a pinch runner. Cole Mosseri is going to pinch run for Avery Dozy over there at first. So Cole Mosseri will pinch run for Avery Dozy. Skylar Mays steps back in, a pair of pop-outs to his credit thus far tonight. Runner goes is Mosseri. The fake throw down from DiGregoli. It'll be a stolen base for Mosseri. The Doubledays now have runners on second and third with no outs here. So Skylar Mays will step back in. On at 1-0 to him. Rapuso on deck. Espinal in the hole. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Big cut there from Mays. Actually fouled into the glove of DiGregoli. It's at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. A 1-1 pitch from Cardoza. Swung on and that one fouled off. The count's at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That single by Dozy was the Doubledays' 10th hit of the night off Cardoza. So Mays steps back in, 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch from Cardoza. Breaking ball. That one popped up right side of the infield. Coming over is Chris Ferrara as he tries to dive and catch it, but it goes out of play. Back to back. 3 straight foul balls for Mays. The count's at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And if you're Ferrara, you almost kind of are glad you didn't catch that one, because the runner probably would have scored on a tag with Ferrara turning his back on the play, trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch there. Cardoza comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The 6th strikeout of the night for Cardoza. There's now 1 away as that'll bring up Gavin Grapuso, the leadoff batter in the Doubledays lineup. So Gropuso, it'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. He'll step in. The first pitch of the at-bat will be the 99th pitch of the night for Cardoza. You imagine his leash is getting shorter by the pitch. Looking to extend his 7-inning outing streak to 4 straight games here. The pitch to Rapuso. Slider catches the outer half of the play. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. It's actually Aiden Ford on deck. Espinal behind him. The 0-1 pitch from Cardoza. Misses outside. Good scoop and stop from DiGregoli. Counts at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rapuso 1 for 3 on the night thus far. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Popped up to Jack Stead, 2nd in the 5th in his last at bat. So Gropuso steps back in. Cardoza comes set. Pitch 101 of the night. Just misses off the outer edge. It's now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike now. The count to Gropuso. 2-1 pitch from Cardoza. That one, same spot, just misses outside. It's now 3-1 to Gropuso. Three balls, 1 strike. Gropuso steps back in. Infield in as well to play at the plate. That one swung on and roped out into deep right field. Trailing is Mason Haar. He'll back up at the track and make the catch. But that one's likely deep enough to score the runner, and it is. It's a sacrifice fly, and the Doubledays take a 4-3 lead off the bat of Gavin Gropuso. Great defensive play from Mason Haar to trail and make the play out there, but way too deep near the warning track. As head coach Dan Steve of the Pilots is going to come out and chat with Cardoza. We'll see if he keeps him in or if he takes him out here. And the night will be over for Cardoza. 4-3 your score. They're going to go to the pen. We're going to take a break, and we'll have the pitching change when we come back on Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, Gavin Gropuso breaks the 3-3 tie. It's now 4-3 Doubledays with a sacrifice fly and an RBI out to right field. Aiden Ford steps in, trying to extend the Doubledays lead here. Cole Mosiri sits 90 feet away at third base for the Doubledays. First pitch from Johnny Hesterman, the pitching replacement for Aiden Cardoza. That pitch misses for a ball. Final stat line for Cardoza, 6 2/3, 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. As that one misses outside, it's at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes to Aiden Ford, 0 for 2 on the night thus far. He did reach base in the third when he was hit by a pitch. So Hesterman coming set yet again, the 2-0. That one catches the outer half of the plate. It's now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hesterman coming set yet again. The 2-1. One misses out and away. It's now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's the big 6'9" righty from South Line, Michigan. Set for the Pilots, a 3-1. Swung on and popped up and popped foul. The count's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Big out for the Pilots if they can get it here. With a dangerous bat in Espinal awaiting on deck. So Hesterman comes set yet again. The payoff pitch swung on, and that one fouled off yet again. We'll do the full count for the second time. Pitch. That one fastball misses up. A walk for Ford, and that'll bring up Fernando Espinal. A fan favorite here at Falcon Park, and rightfully so. He's been red hot, batting .625 coming into the game tonight. He's already 2 for 3 with a single, an RBI, and a triple. So Espinal back in. He'll face Hesterman here. Comes set. Pitch. Swung on, and that one comes in and fouled off. That one came in batter's side on Espinal, but he kind of put the bat up to defend himself in a way, and it fouled off the bat. Counts at 0-1 to Espinal. The 0-1. Swung on that one, a little liner in foul territory. The count's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Doubledays fans upset that that one was called foul. But even with speed from Espinal, Ray Toth at third fielded that one pretty quickly. So it would have been maybe not a bang-bang play at first, but counts at 0-2 to Espinal. Hesterman coming set. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one popped up and out of play. 3 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Espinal. Count's still 0-2. 4-3 your score. Espinal's going to rub some more pine tar on his bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Espinal steps back in. Hesterman coming set. The 0-2. That one just misses inside as Espinal leans out of the way, but it did break back over towards the plate. Counts at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zach Bale, the cleanup hitter, awaits on deck. The 1-2 pitch to Espinal. Swung on and fouled off. The 4th foul ball of the at-bat for Espinal. Doubledays fans behind Espinal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2, runner goes. Misses outside. Good stop from Deeger goalie. As Aiden Ford in safely at second. So now runners on second and third. For Espinal, the count's at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Esterman comes set. Take a look at both runners. The pitch. Just misses low. So after being down in the count 0-2, Espinal fights back. It's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Zach Bale, a dangerous bat awaiting on deck for Auburn. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Espinal steps back in there. 3-2 pitch from Esterman. Swung on that one, popped up. A mile high in the infield. Coming in as the shortstop, Bestry. He dives. Ray Toth lost it in the lights. He'll make the play. A P6, Sammy Bestry makes the play. The Doubledays strand 2, but not before they take the lead on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Gavin Gropuso. So, 4-3 your score. We'll be right back. Top of the 8th. Pilots up to bat on Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Well, back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, top of the 8th inning. As Keegan McGraw leads things off for the Pilots, he'll face Tyler Blake here. The count's at 1-0. Blake out for another inning of work. Looks like there is someone up and throwing or ready to throw in the Doubledays bullpen. That one fouled off by McGraw. The count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the top of the 8th. Just tuning in, Gavin Gropuso tying that one, a sacrifice fly with an RBI. In the bottom half of the 7th, it's now 4-3. That one swung on a miss by McGraw. The count's at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McGraw. The pitch. Swung on a missed on a fastball on the outer edge of the plate. That one at 87 miles an hour. So there's one away now. That'll bring up Chris Ferrara, the Pilots' first baseman here tonight. 0 for 2, and he walked his last plate appearance in the 6th. First pitch to Ferrara, that one swung on and missed. The count is at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. It's at 1-1 now to Chris Ferrara. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one misses. Counts at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one in there for a strike now. It's evened up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one misses in. It's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ferrara, looking to make it back-to-back walks in the last 2 plate appearances. The payoff pitch to Ferrara. That one misses inside. It is back-to-back walks for Chris Ferrara. He heads to first, as that brings up Dom Zena now for the Pilots. And out comes the skipper, Dan Schwam, to talk with Blake. I don't know if his night will be over. Typically, the pitching coach comes out first, then the manager. Schwam looking down at the bullpen. Talk with Blake quickly. As he points over at the bullpen, that will be the end of the night for Tyler Blake. Pitching change for the Doubledays. We'll take a break and we'll have it for you when we come back on the Doubledays YouTube channel. So back here on the Doubledays YouTube channel, bunch of substitutions. Henderson relieves Tyler Blake. And now pinch running for Chris Ferrara at first is Sean McMillan. So Zena quickly calls time, as Groves is going to come out and chat with Henderson. Not sure if the Pilots are going to lay down a bunt here or not. So Zena steps in now. Face Henderson. 1.22 ERA and 7 1/3 inning of work thus far. First pitch to Zena. That one misses inside as Zena jumps out of the way of that one. That one probably would have hit him. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Dom Zena, who's 1 for 3. Singled in the 4th inning. Grounded into that 4 unassisted double play in the 6th on a liner that almost got over the head of Aiden Ford at second. Pitch. Fastball misses up. It's now 2-0 to Zena. Big spot in this ball game for the Doubledays with 1 away. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 2-1 now to Zena. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the 8th inning. Sean McMillan on first. Pinch running for Chris Ferrara. Henderson coming set. The 2-1 pitch to Zena. Swung on and fouled off sharply out of play. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mason Haar on deck. Ray Toth in the hole for the Pilots. A 3-4 one-run ball game here at Falcon Park. Henderson coming set. The 2-2 pitch. Misses outside. Good stop from Groves as he looks back Sean McMillan at first. The count is now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Henderson, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Doubledays. He relieved Tyler Blake after 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. McMillan on first. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Zena goes down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning as that brings up Mason Haar now for the Pilots. So 2 away. Haar steps in. He showed us his power earlier. He had that double, deep double at that, back in the 2nd inning. So Haar steps in. McMillan on first. The pitch. Slider misses outside. Sean McMillan almost caught. If that was a good throw from Groves over to the first baseman, Dozy, he would have been out. So, Haar steps back in, counts at 1-0. McMillan held closely on first there. The 1-0 pitch to Haar. Swung on and fouled off. It's now evened up at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Haar steps out and steps back in. Both on deck for the Pilots. Pitch to Haar. That one. And on the outer half, it's now 1-2. Doubledays a strikeout away of getting out of the base runner jam. Not really a jam, but runner on first, tying run McMillan. Haar steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McMillan dancing at first. The 1-2 pitch from Henderson. That one misses low and away. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if there's any movement from McMillan within the next few pitches. Haar batting .315 coming into this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Henderson deals. The 2-2. Slider misses outside, and likely McMillan will be moving on the next pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mason Haar will step back in here. McMillan over on first. Ray Toth on deck for the Pilots. You can feel the tension here at Falcon Park. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Henderson steps off. Big, big point of this ball game. A 1-run game, top of the 8th. Pilots down to their final 4 outs of the night. They need 1 run in those final 4 outs. Haar steps back in. Henderson comes set. The payoff pitch. McMillan goes. That one just misses inside. Looked like strike 3. Haar trots towards first. There's now runners on first and second for Ray Toth, who's 1 for 2 on the night. So Toth going to step in now. Walked and scored in the 7th, and he also singled in the 2nd inning. So he's been on base in 2 of the 3 plate appearances tonight. Toth will step in. Big point in this game. The tying run in McMillan on second base in scoring position. Henderson coming set. The first pitch to Toth. Taken on the outer edge for a strike. The count's at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. That one at 82 miles an hour. 9:20 p.m., just over 2 hours into this ball game. Both back in. Henderson comes set. The 0-1. Swung on that one, hit out into right field. That one coming in as the right fielder, Skylar Mays, and he makes the grab. The Pilots strand 2. McMillan likely would have been safe at home had Skylar Mays not made a great play to speed in from right field and make the grab. And F9, the Pilots strand 2. Doubledays will look to add some insurance runs. In the bottom half of the 8th, it'll be Zach Bale leading things off here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Well, back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, bottom of the 8th inning, Zach Bale leading things off for your Doubledays. Scores 4-3 in favor of them. That one comes in, one pitch, and it hits Bale, who'll head to first. In the bottom of the 8th. As that will now bring up Ryan Grundy, left fielder. So Grundy steps up for the Doubledays here. Bale over on first. Esterman back out for another inning of work. The pitch. This is low and in. The count's at 1-0 now. 1 ball, no strikes. Esterman coming set. The 1-0. Swung on that one, fanned into left field. Bryce Knox trailing back to his left. He'll make the grab. An F7 for Grundy. There's one away now, as that brings up the center fielder, Bradley Soto Diaz, for the Doubledays here. So Soto Diaz steps in. Face Hesterman with one away. Pitch. Taken for a strike. The count's at 0-1. No balls, one strike. Double play ball is in effect for the Pilots. Soto Diaz 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a run. Scored back in the 4th inning. Struck out swinging in his last at-bat in the 6th inning, and there's now going to be another pinch runner for the Doubledays here. Going to get that pinch runner for you here. It's Mike Christian pinch running for Zach Bale. So Christian over on first now for the Doubledays. Soto Diaz will step back in. Counts at 0-1. Mid at bat substitution there for Doubledays. No balls, one strike. Christian over on first. He's held by McMillan. Esterman coming set. The pitch. That one clips the outer half. Great frame job there from DeGregoli. Soto Diaz can't believe it, and I can't say I blame him. That one looked like it was a ball outside on the slider. It's now 0-2. Hesterman will look over at Christian. The pitch as Christian heads towards second. That one fouled off by Soto Diaz. Hit and run on for the Doubledays. The skipper Dan Schwam getting a little aggressive, trying to add some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 your score. As Bryce Knox will lead things off for the Pilots in the bottom half of the 9th. Hesterman just steps off and Christian dives back in safely over there at first. Looking back. The 0-2 just misses up. Counts at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bradley Soto Diaz. Christian again with a healthy lead over there at first. The pitch, runner goes. That one just misses outside. The throw down from DeGregoly. Not in time. That throw was on the money from DeGregoly. A good slide from Christian to slide around the tag. The stolen base for the pinch runner, Mike Christian. He's now in scoring position on second. The count's at 2-2. Beautiful throw from DeGregoly. Right side of the bag, right in there, but looked like Christian must have slid around the tag. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Esterman comes set yet again. The 2-2. That one misses outside. It's now pushed full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The catcher, Dalton Groves, awaits on deck, and he's had a hot night for the Doubledays, responsible for 2 of the 4 runs, 2 RBI singles. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Slider misses outside, so Soto Diaz works the walk. He's on base for the 3rd time here tonight. And that brings up Dalton Groves, the catcher, for the Doubledays. So Dalton Groves steps in for the Doubledays here. Struck out swinging in his last at-bat in the 6th, and then had an RBI single in both the 4th and 2nd innings for the Doubledays. First pitch to him. Ball to strike on the outer edge of the plate. It's now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Not sure what they called there. Must have been Groves called time as he stepped out. Esterman coming set. The 0-1. That one ended on the outer edge of the plate. It's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. That one misses outside. It's now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Esterman comes set. He looks at Christian. The 1-2. Swung on and fanned at, and fanned foul. It's now 1-2 yet again. So Dalton Groves steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-3 your score with 1 away. The bottom of the 8th. Doubledays looking to extend their 1-run lead here. Give Henderson some insurance. The pitch from Hesterman. That one misses up and away. Good stop from DeGregoly. Counts at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the catcher, Groves. Looking to add to his 2 RBI total already here tonight. A 2-2 pitch. That fastball misses up. It's now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Counts full. Trevor Murray awaiting on deck for the Doubledays. The payoff pitch from Hesterman. Swung on, and that one fouled off as well. Seventh pitch of the at-bat was fouled off by Hesterman. We'll do the 3-2 yet again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second for the Doubledays. Mike Christian on second. That one swung on and hit. A little dribbler right, and it just hits right in front of the Pilots bullpen. Foul. 3 straight foul balls. Dalton Groves. I know I keep saying it, but crucial point in this game for the Doubledays to try and add some insurance runs here. Esterman looks at Groves. He comes set, checks the runner. The payoff pitch. Swung on, and that one popped up into right field. Mason Haar coming in. He makes the grab as Christian's going to head towards third. Haar with a beautiful throw in is going to hold Christian at second base. An F9 from Groves. There's 2 away, and that'll bring up Trevor Murray now for the Doubledays. So 2 outs now. Murray steps in. He singled and scored in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the night, back in the 7th inning. So Trevor Murray steps in. Hesterman looking to work his way out of the jam. First pitch of the at-bat. Swung on a miss. Big cut there from Murray. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Trevor Murray, the third baseman for the Doubledays here tonight. The pitch. That one swung on and popped foul. 2 straight strikes from Hesterman. The count's at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. It will be Knox, DeGregoli, and Jack Stead for the Pilots in the top half of the 9th. Down to their final 3 outs, looking for 1 run, pending the outcome of this at-bat, the 0-2. That one misses low and away, counts at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Murray v. Johnny Hesterman. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs. Big point in this ball game. Hesterman comes set, he looks at Christian at second. The 1-2 delivery. Fastball misses up and away. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cole Mosseri awaits on deck for the Doubledays if needed. The 2-2. Swung on, that one popped up. This one into right field. Mason Haar underneath it. And he makes the grab. The Doubledays strand 2. The Pilots down to their final 3 outs, 4-3 your score. Top of the 9th coming your way. It will be Bryce Knox, Antonio DeGregoli, and Jack Stead coming up. We'll see if the Doubledays can close it out here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. So back here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, James Sill coming in to try and close this one out in the 9th inning with a 1-run lead for the Doubledays. He'll have to get through Bryce Knox, Antonio DiGregoli, and Jack Stead. The 3 hitters set to be up here for the Pilots, top half of the 9th. So Sill coming in to pitch. So far for him on the summer, a 1.8 ERA and 5 games played. First pitch swung on and missed by Knox. Count is at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Knox. That one. This is inside. It's at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryce Knox. He's 0 for 2 on the night. He walked and scored in the 5th. Trying to replicate that here. DiGregoli awaiting on deck. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled off the bat of Knox sharply into the backstop. The count's at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking for his 2nd save of the summer is James Sill. Bryce Knox steps back in. 1-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Knox goes down on strikes. There's 1 away, and that'll bring up Antonio DiGregoli for the Pilots with 1 out here. So 1 away. DiGregoli steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the night. A double with an RBI in the 5th, and he walked and scored in the 7th. Jack Stead is on deck, followed by Grant Russo in the hole if we get there. First pitch from James Sill. Like a changeup on the inner half of the plate. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Antonio DiGregoli. Pilots catcher from Hofstra. Sill coming set, the 0-1 to DiGregoli. That one on the outer half of the plate as well. 2 straight strikes from James Sill. 2 outs away from his 2nd save of the summer for the Doubledays. The 0-2. Swung on that one on a line, right to the 3rd baseman Murray. He scoops it up and throws over to Ryan Grundy at first. In time, a strike from Murray. A 5-3 ground out. There's 2 away now. That'll bring up Jack Stead. Stead singled with 2 RBIs in his last at-bat in the 7th. It's a look to try and tie the game yet again here in the top of the 9th. Stead tied it in the 7th. He'll try to tie it in the 9th for the Pilots. 2 away. Pilots down to their last out. First pitch. Slider. A beautiful break on that one. It drops in for a strike. Counts at 0-1. That one swung on and missed. So Stead falls behind in the count 0-2. Pilots down to their final strike of the evening. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Still looking to close this one out. Stead steps back in. The 0-2 pitch to him. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Groves catches it. It's a save for James Sill. The Doubledays pick up their 9th win of the summer. They're now 9-4-1. Pilots fall to 4-10. Doubledays have the day off tomorrow. They'll be back in action on the road at McDonough Park in Geneva on Thursday the 20th. As Evan Carocchio will take things over for you. They'll be back here to call the game right here on AuburnDoubledays.tv on Saturday the 22nd, right here at Falcon Park. I'm Kyle French. It's a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Doubledays get the win. They improved to 9-4-1. We'll see you next time on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Final stat line, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Doubledays, and 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Pilots. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great night.